Interest groups and social movements, public groups, foreign groups. Part 3. Lobbying, used by economic and public ideological interest groups, is the act of attempting to influence policymakers or legislators to support or oppose specific legislation or policies, often carried out by interest groups or professional lobbyists. Public and ideological interest groups are unique because they advocate for collective goods, benefits like clean air or safer products that everyone enjoys, regardless of whether they helped pay for or achieve them. The free rider problem is someone enjoying a benefit without any effort. If a group like Food and Water Watch wins a battle for GMO labeling, every consumer benefits. Rational choice theory is a framework suggesting that individuals make decisions by weighing costs and benefits to maximize personal advantage. Why act if you can ride free? Let us examine consumer interests, environmental interests, and religious interests. Consumer interest groups act as watchdogs to hold businesses accountable and protect the public from predatory or dangerous practices. The core focus is product safety, fair pricing, especially in pharmaceuticals, and corporate competition. Public Citizen, founded by Ralph Nader, recently lobbied to block a merger between Capital One and Discover to prevent higher consumer fees. Environmental interest groups vary wildly in their strategies, ranging from insider cooperation to outsider disruption. Confrontational tactics used by groups like PETA and Greenpeace protest to gain media attention and shift public opinion. Collaborative tactics used by the Environmental Defense Fund often partners with corporations to find market-based solutions and research-driven policy changes. Religious interest groups were formerly hesitant to engage in politics for fear of losing tax-exempt status. Religious groups are now among the most influential in the U.S. Their tactical focus is mobilizing voters in low-turnout primaries, influencing school boards, and lobbying state legislatures. These are a few key players. Conservative and pro-family. The Christian Coalition and Faith and Freedom Coalition focus on social issues like banning abortion and pro-family legislation. Groups like Khair, Muslim, and B'nai B'rith, Jewish, often center their activism on protecting members from hate crimes and influencing foreign policy. The group is most famous for its influence during the 1980s. The Moral Majority was instrumental in helping elect Ronald Reagan in 1980 by registering millions of new voters. It was a driving force behind the domestic policies of the Reagan years, shifting the national conversation toward moral and social issues. The organization ended in 1989, but its religious activism continued through other groups. After its disbanding, the Christian Coalition was formed, continuing to emphasize pro-family values and remaining a major player in presidential elections. Today, this legacy of religious mobilization is seen in groups like the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Foreign policy interest groups advocate for the interests of foreign governments, international organizations, or specific ethnic/heritage groups within the U.S. Their primary goal is to influence U.S. foreign policy and international trade to benefit their respective causes. Foreign policy interests are composed of U.S. citizens who lobby for the interests of their ancestral home or a specific foreign nation. American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. With roughly 100,000 members, it is one of the most influential groups in Washington, lobbying for pro-Israel foreign policies. Cuban American National Foundation. This group of expatriates and their descendants works to influence Congress on measures intended to promote democracy in Cuba. International corporations. While foreign nationals are legally barred from contributing to U.S. political campaigns, foreign entities exert influence through domestically owned subsidiaries. These corporations often lobby for favorable trade policies. For example, Chinese businesses, often subsidized by their government, have spent millions to influence trade. They have found particular success with the U.S.-China Working Group in Congress. Key tactics and legal boundaries of foreign interests. Lobbying. Foreign interests vigorously press for policies that provide economic or political benefits to their respective countries or industries. Campaign finance restrictions. The law strictly prohibits foreign nationals from direct financial contributions to campaigns, forcing them to rely on lobbying and subsidiary organizations to gain traction.